If you've been drawn in by the world of crazy conservative conspiracy theories, then you should understand that one of its leading voices has been playing you for a fool. Lawyers of Alex Jones says that he in fact doesn't believe any of this. He doesn't mean what he says. It's all been an act. And this came out during a court case to determine whether he was mentally fit to maintain custody over his children, with his ex-wife's lawyer saying he's not a stable person. Sorry, this is actually his ex-wife. He's not a stable person. He says he wants to break Alec Baldwin's neck. He wants J-Lo to get raped. I'm concerned that he is engaging in felonious behavior, threatening a member of Congress, which we reported on a couple weeks ago. He broadcasts from home. The children are there watching him broadcast. In response, his lawyer said that using Infowars to judge Alex Jones would be like evaluating Jack Nicholson based on his interpretation of the Joker in Batman, saying he's playing a character. He is a performance artist.
Oh, well, I'm glad we now know exactly what Alex Jones is.
It's all fake. It is a false flag.
Look, I said this years ago. Alex Jones is the false flag operation, okay? So because if you wanted to do some conspiracies, you know what you would do? You'd pay a guy like Alex Jones to say everything's a conspiracy, so that
make people believe it. Yeah.
So that when somebody says, "Hey, maybe that operation seems a little fishy," you go, "Oh yeah, you're one of those Alex Jones guys, right? Yeah. They think that Sandy Hook was a conspiracy. You think everything's a conspiracy. You think pizza's a conspiracy.
Oh, juice boxes make you gay."
Yeah. So if you wanted to do conspiracies, you would invent a guy like Alex Jones to be a false flag operation so that you could discredit anyone who ever claimed any conspiracy actually happened.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's really the case, but what we do know now is that Alex Jones is a performance artist. So the performance artist formerly known as Alex Jones has finally admitted who he is. And it's all a big joke, and it's a joke on you. And
it's a joke that could theoretically get people killed.
Yeah.
Because they walk into pizza places ready to shoot the place up because of his performance art.
That's right. And so this is exactly what I talked about after Andrew Breitbart passed away. Because sometimes people in Washington celebrate this like they're good players in a game. And they said that about Breitbart when he died. They're like, "Oh man, he was such a character and he was a fun player in this game." But it's not fun and it's not a game, because sometimes a guy walks in with a gun to a pizza place.
Yeah.
And look, that's a small and obvious example, but sometimes when conservatives win, thousands of people die, or sometimes hundreds of thousands die in a war like Iraq. It's not a game.
Yeah.
Let alone encouraging Trump. Oh, kill the terrorists, kill their families. Who's terrorist, who's not, I don't know. Just turn the desert into glass, right?
Yeah.
And guess what's happened? We now know that we're killing hundreds of more civilians than we used to under the Obama administration, because they've relaxed the rules and say, "Obama, I can't tell who's a terrorist and who's not, and who's their family member and who's not." It's not a goddamn game. It has deadly consequences when we're talking about politics and policy.
And it can also have personal consequences in the realm of potential child abuse, which is what this court case is really getting into. Especially when you listen to this quote from, I believe it was 2015, where Alex Jones is talking about his son, again, who watches the show as it's being filmed, and he is responsible for, saying, "He is undoubtedly cut out for this, and I intend for him to eclipse what I've done. You're a good little knight who's going to grow up, I know, to be a great fighter against the enemy." So let's say that Alex Jones's cowardly defense there, that this is all performance art and you can't trust anything he says, again, telling all of his viewers he's been fucking with you this whole time, is true. Okay, fine. Maybe a 27-year-old can figure out that this is performance art. Do you think that a 12-year-old kid knows the difference, or a 10-year-old or an 8-year-old, when you say that Sandy Hook is all fake and the grieving moms have all made it up and frogs are turning gay because of the water and all of that? That's all seeping into young minds inside of his home. Forget about YouTube. And that's dangerous too. Although at the end of the day, we don't necessarily know what to believe, because we also have this. Referencing the thing with his kid, Kelly Jones's attorney said this is the world he has planned for his kids. He went on to quote Mr. Jones at a recent hearing in which he swore that what he says on air is what he actually believes and not a character, as the host's attorney claimed. So this is supposedly a guy who tells it like it is and sticks to his principles, and depending on who's suing him at any particular time, it's all true and I mean every word of it, or if necessary, I'm a clown and I don't believe any of this stuff, and he flops back and forth. But in all of this, the people who are losing out are his viewers, the people who believe him and trust him, who now believe crazy things about the world and are ill-equipped to deal with an incredibly serious world that we have right now.
So, slight defense of Alex Jones here, believe it or not.
Weird.
Is that I hate that it's all coming out in a child custody battle. Now, my wife's a therapist, and boy, divorces get ugly. They get super ugly. And a lot of what is said is absolutely true, and sometimes not so much. And in that same clip where he talked about how his son was going to turn into a good little knight fighting the enemy, it makes me uncomfortable, and he's 12 and
Sounds
don't
like
do
a
that.
Christian fundamentalist.
Yeah, but at the same time, he says over and over how much he loves his son, and I believe him. And
yeah,
so,
I think the people that raise their kids to become violent religious extremists love their kids too on some level.
Yeah, and it's just, then we get into parenting. Look, there's extreme cases like Bill O'Reilly, and in his divorce proceedings, his daughter said basically he was an absentee father, hadn't seen him in over a decade. Not literally never seen him, but not there to parent, etc. And O'Reilly goes on TV and tells people, oh, black people are a problem because where are the fathers?
Yeah.
Don't say where are the fathers if your daughter says in a divorce proceeding that she hasn't, basically haven't seen you in over a decade. In this case though, there doesn't seem to be statements, and I don't know all the nitty gritty of the divorce settlement and the child custody and all that stuff, that Alex Jones doesn't love his kids or neglects them or anything like that. So then how he loves his kids and what he teaches them, then we're getting too knee deep in how he parents, and that makes me uncomfortable, okay? So I'm just—
That's fine, it's a discussion to be had. I know some people think it doesn't matter. I get uncomfortable with the idea of like white supremacists, what they're teaching their kids, members of the Ku Klux Klan, what they're exposing their kids to. They get to do it, I guess. It's a free world, freedom of speech, but I can criticize it if I want to.
I hear you, but for me, I think that is the least relevant part of this, and that's between Kelly Jones and Alex Jones and their kids. But the relevant part to me is, just like Glenn Beck said he was a rodeo clown, here is Alex Jones, through his attorney, admitting, look, it's all a con job, right? It's all performance art.
They just want to sell those penis pills and they need people's eyes to sell them.
Yeah, and so I just pump people up and get them to believe, come on, you really think I think that Sandy Hook was a conspiracy and the kids never died and the parents are all lying? Who could be that monstrously stupid and such a terrible person? It's obviously like Jack Nicholson playing the Joker in Batman. I'm playing the Joker as a talk show host.
I love that that's the comparison his lawyer made.
That's right, that's not her lawyer, that's his lawyer. So the great irony of this is the guy who claims everything is staged has just admitted that his own show is staged. Membership helps fund the Young Turks. You know one great thing about that? That means we're not accountable to anyone but you guys. That's why we're strong together, because we built this show around you. Come build it even bigger and better at tytnetwork.com/join.